folks, the Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, we were able to defeat each of the 3 sets of guardians that prevent people from activating this portal. This portal takes people to the final level of Watcher's Keep, where the Imprisoned One is contained. And while we have a very high level and well-equipped party, I'm not sure that we're quite ready to take on that fight just yet. There is something that we can try and take on though, and it's something that I was avoiding because of the final enemy that's at the end of it. But after our victory against the Demi-Lich on the 4th floor, I feel like we might be able to do this. So, it's out of Watcher's Keep we go, and back to Athkatla. There's one optional quest there that I have not picked up yet, and that is because you really need to be looking about and exploring everywhere to stumble across it. That said, we have encountered one piece of it by going and dealing with the Beholder cult in the Temple District. To start the quest though, we need to travel to Badox. It takes 20 hours and
If you say so.
there's nothing happening here, at least at the very entrance to Badox. If anybody did decide to try and fight us, they would surely regret it, because we are quite high level. We could quite easily take care of Cowled Wizards if they chose to fight us. They have no reason to decide to fight us unless they hold a grudge for what happened in the Planar Sphere, but I doubt they really care about that. Now, the building we want is this one right here. The only thing that really makes it stand out is that it doesn't have anything to make it stand out. It's not indicated as a point of interest on the map.
What is it now?
And that will alert some people to the fact that maybe there is something to this place. It's locked as well, which will also make some people curious. Now, is it trapped? It might very well be. It is! That will also get people very curious. Fortunately, we are more than capable enough to deal with the trap and the lock.
That's what you want.
So here we go. Whereupon we will encounter some Minotaurs. Now, Minotaurs aren't really a threat for our party. Case in point, Corgan is able to deal with them in a single critical hit. And that's the second one taken care of, and the third one taken care of. At this point, you're going to be very curious as to what's going on. A house in Badox district that has Minotaurs guarding it? And there are probably some traps scattered about as well. Or maybe not. Maybe that part is just my memory playing tricks on me. Could have sworn there were some traps about here. Ah well, no traps. Instead, tiny amounts of money. The tiny amounts of money may make you think that there's nothing really good here, but do not be deceived. Also, Potion of Regeneration, that is no bad thing at all. What we're going to do is we are going to head down to the basement, and we are going to save before we do so, because this could potentially go badly.
Nothing to it.
Let's go. Now look at this area. Not quite what you'd expect to see in the basement of a building in Badox district. There is a tomb here,
All about it.
and despite what you may think that this is a terrible idea, we are actually going to open the tomb. The lid of the sarcophagus moves easily aside despite the Tao warnings and guardian runes written on the side. Within is a golden skull. When you touch the skull, its eyes blaze with an eerie light, and it begins to speak. At last, I return to awareness. Who is it that has awakened me? I am Terri Coleman, an adventurer. Then you have found your fortune at last, Terri Coleman. I am in need of your assistance. Serve me well, and you will be rewarded beyond your wildest imaginings. You should have several alarm bells going off in your head by now, because it's not often that skulls in tombs talk to you, and when they do, it's not a good sign. Is this a kind of lich? Probably. But it can't hurt to listen at least to what it has to say. We can fight it if it decides to become aggressive. What are you? What has happened to you? I am Kangax, and I have been cursed. I am dead, yet not dead, cursed to eternal entrapment in this tomb by cruel enemies, cursed to a fate worse than death. I know your pain, believe me. But the curse can be reversed. With your assistance, I may live again. I have suffered for so long. Will you help me? The third option here is an interesting one. We have no evidence to prove that this is the case. And we're certainly not going to say this because I think it might get Kangax annoyed. We instead will offer our assistance. We can always decide to change that later if we discover things that make us believe that we are being deceived. I will do what I can to help. The fiends that did this to me keep me from returning by tearing apart my mortal form and keeping the pieces separated. You must find my body, that I might again take mortal form. Where might I find these parts? They are very close. I have no doubt that they lie within Basidian tombs such as this. My enemies are predictable, if nothing else. Seek my arms, legs, and torso. You will be well rewarded for your efforts, Terri Coleman. Hurry, find my pieces and return. And off we go on a scavenger hunt. Now we know the location of one of these pieces of Kangax. It is in the mausoleum-like area beneath the sewers in the Temple District. There is another area, however, that isn't that difficult to find. Much like this building, you sort of have to stumble across it. And there are clues that tell you that there is something very significant happening. Let's talk to Bethum and get a room for the night. There we go. We've entered, don't worry, and we were indeed made welcome, and now we are leaving, because we are heading to the Bridge District. To go to a door that is locked, and for a good reason. Because that door hides a lich. We've dealt with many a lich, and considering that this is content that you should be able to deal with in the Shadows of Arm without the Throne of Baal expansion, I think we might be able to take care of this opponent, though liches are always a foe you should never underestimate. To the Bridge District we go. And the place we want to check out, I believe, is over here. There is a door here that is most certainly locked, and I do believe most definitely trapped. And Terri and Corkin are going to rush over there at the speed of haste. Those boots are really good. They allow you to really close the distance in combat, and that is very important. Far more important than you'd think initially. Also, there is a cat. Hello, cat. How are you? Are you well? And then the cat goes, meow. And then Corkin just sighs. Okay, we are here. We want a definite casting of that. And we want to save, because liches. Never underestimate liches. I think this is the door. If we have you detect traps, this should come up as a trapped door. Either that, or I have already disabled the trap on it. I may have done so. We can go in. Do we want to, though? Let's go in. There we go. This place is very similar to the other place that we were just in. Are there any enemies here? No. This can be looked at, though, and we certainly will do that. We can also, yep, check that out as well. So let's do that too. Small amount of money, and okay, that is exactly the same loot. I'm curious as to if that loot is programmed to be there always. I'm not going to say no to another thing of regeneration, that's for sure. Now, we're actually going to want to do some buffing while we are here, because I think the Lich is... actually, I'm not sure the Lich is immediately active. Let's go down and find out if that's the case, shall we? It probably is.
Very well.
Nope, the Lich is not active, which means that we can get ready as much as we need to. Perfect. We're not going to summon any help for this one. This area is quite crowded. So instead, we're just going to focus on spell casting. Right, we want a Death Ward here. And a Death Ward here as well, so that... where's the Death Ward? There it is, a Death Ward on you.
Yes, Bill.
Then a Chaotic Commands on you. Then we want a Simulacrum Korgan. And we want a Simulacrum Edwin as well. Brilliant. Then we want a... do we want a Berserk right now? No. We do want a Protection from Evil, though. And that is a little over here. Always lose where that spell is. Should probably have that on the quick cast. There we go.
Have you nothing else to
Then
do but
Protection from Fear. Here.
Yes.
Then we want Haste and Berserk and various things like that. Where is Haste? You are the Simulacrum, so don't want you to do that. I want you to do this, though. There we go. Right there. Then Berserk. Then Berserk. Have you two at the front here. Then you.
What would you
Then
have me? Very well.
you. Then I want you to cast an Energy Blades here.
Yes.
I want you to be invisible. Step back here, step back here. I think this should be sufficient. I say think because this is still going to be quite tricky. Alright, actual Korgan, open this up. You're too far away. Okay.
But a trap will do for now.
You feel very uneasy as you approach the sarcophagus. The lid looks heavy, but you could remove it if you wish to, and we do. Push the heavy lid aside, and the foul stench of rot nearly overcomes. Strangely, nothing lies within but the gilded torso of a skeleton. Power surges within. You are foolish to follow the whims of Kangax. He will not be grateful for your services. What are you talking about? Regardless, your quest ends here. I have not sacrificed all to have idiot adventurers awaken our doom. Die, fools!
Yes.
Looks like we have combat.
Victory shall be ours.
Looks like we're going to deal with this combat immediately. Well, you've cast a few spells there. I believe that is protection by Improved Mantle. Well, we can take care of Improved Mantle with a, not with you, with a Reach spell here. That'll do the trick. And we'll see how long you last. Probably longer than I want you to. Nope, not very long at all. A little over-prepared for that. A little over-prepared. Right, can we now go and get this? When you touch the torso, a horrible feeling of weakness and despair brings you to your knees. With care, you use a cloth to place it in your backpack. And I've no idea what Edwin's talking about when he keeps mentioning traps. A skeletal torso made of pure gold. A palpable sense of evil pollutes the very air around the bones. That should be your hint as to, hey, maybe doing this isn't the best idea. Maybe freeing the entity within the tomb, Kangax, isn't smart. Also, we can't rest here. Can we rest downstairs? Yes! Yes, we can. Also, we need to rest again so that you have that fatigue gone. So we have one item here. Now we need to find the legs and the arms. And to go and find one of those things, we're going to go back to the Temple District and deep beneath it. Shouldn't be too tricky to go there. Also, you're a named character. Hello, Stanet.
You're rather outlandish folk to be wandering round here.
You're kinda big for a halfling, Fuzzy. I be not a halfling, you bespalled prick Medaly. What are you besides a fool sofa? Blind too? The gods have cursed you, imbecile.
I'm waiting. nothing to it.
Let's go. And head to the Temple District.
Yes.
Now, we want to go and head under the walkways down here where we've been many a time before. Many a time before. Only this time, we are most certainly ready to take on the Lich beneath. We may even encounter a few random enemies as we walk about down there. Also, this is a place where we can remove the Cloak of Dragomir. I keep forgetting to do that.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Don't keep forgetting to gather the party, though. Quite good at that.
I am.
Alright. Let us quickly make our way over to the old tunnels. Anybody that decides to fight this party right now are extremely foolish to do so. Oh my, are they extremely foolish. We are well over-leveled for this small dungeon.
Gather your party before venturing forth.
Imagine coming here for the first time at level 20 or so. Okay, we want to go this way. Over here. To this area. And get ready for a fight very similar to the one that we just had.
I'm waiting. If
We'll
that's
have
what
you here. We'll have you here. And we'll have you here. And everybody else can hang around over here while we do a little bit more prep work. We want to start with the Death Wards, like before. Death Ward. Death Ward. Chaotic Commands, which is there. Always keep losing it, but I find it in the end. Then we shall get Simulacrum U.
Be quick with it.
And
I am yours
a
to command.
Protection from Evil.
Yes.
Protection from Fear. So,
Bark your orders already.
then
Guides my
an
hand.
Energy Blades afterwards.
What do you want, groundling?
Berserk. And Berserk.
What is it now?
And then Haste. And we're going to save. Again, it's a Lich. We do need to watch out.
Mind your I will enjoy.
We'll have you open this. We could move it. We're going to. Hello.
You should not have come to this place.
Long have I guarded, long have I suffered. Who are you, manling, to seek the mortal shell of Kangax? When evil was torn asunder, 3 pieces were locked away. For a millennium, I have guarded this piece, dispensing death to those that follow darkness. You are no different, manling. Your death was ordained when Kangax fell.
Be
Right.
quick with it.
Let's deal with you, shall we? Critical strike.
Yaks be bloody
Critical
ready.
strike.
You have a problem?
Greater whirlwind.
Yes.
Greater whirlwind. And a hammer thing!
Stonebreaker.
Okay. So what happened there was both of the Korgans hit immediately, dealing just shy of 60 damage apiece, 120 damage or so, dealt instantaneously,
Yes. Whatever.
and that was the end of the Lich. And now we have the arms and legs, which means that we now have all of the pieces that we require
Yes.
to deal with reassembling Kangax. That was not as hard as I thought it would be.
Surface dwellers
But
will be
this is only the beginning of this encounter. We shall rest and then rest again
Go bother someone else.
and
Very
leave
You must gather
and
your
head
party
back
before
to
venturing
the
forth.
docks district.
What would you like?
Now, I think we need to use the tomb again to talk to Kangax, which is good because we need to make sure a certain person is right next to where Kangax is. And that certain person is Korgan. because Kangax is a lot more than
Gather your party
he
before
appears to
venturing
be.
forth.
He appears to be a
gather your
undead
party
creature
before
right now,
venturing
and
forth.
most definitely a lich. But Kangax is still more than that, and I think it's actually faster to go down this way to leave.
Very well.
Won't be too long before we're in the docks district, also we can keep that
You are
off,
lucky
which is
I'm
good.
here. Fear not,
Could you
in
please go
presence.
the way everyone else is going, Hexat? That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. We definitely want a Simulacrum Edwin for this next fight, which I'm going to give one attempt here. I'm going to give it one try and see what my strategy is lacking, because I'm pretty sure my strategy is going to be lacking something. Much like the first time I dealt with a final encounter by the portal in Watcher's Keep, the things that need to be worked through with a tricky fight are subtle and nuanced, and I typically lack that subtlety and nuance. Let's go into here. I'm glad nobody else has decided to pop into here apart from us. And there we go. We are going to save again. Just in case we have to immediately go into a fight. I don't think we do, though. No, we don't. That is good news. That is really good news. Okay,
Whatever you
time for some more prep, and this time we're going to be doing a lot more than we did before. We're going to have some undead servants to assist us. We're going to have 2 of these and the Diva. Once you cast that, we shall summon a Fallen Diva.
You are going somewhere.
Then we're going to have the same things that we had before, the Death Wards on you and on you. Then we are going to have the Chaotic Commands on you. Actually, we can have Chaotic Commands on Terri as well. I don't know why I'm not casting this on Terri also.
Have you nothing else to
We
do but
want
bother
a
me?
Simulacrum Edwin here. And we want a Simulacrum Corgan here.
Yes.
And this Simulacrum can now cast a... where's the Stone Skin? Or do we not have Stone Skin for you? Doesn't look like we have Stone Skin. Either way,
Yes.
that's fine. We want a protection from evil
What is it
and
now?
a protection from fear. Then an Energy Blades.
Go bother
Then
someone
we
else.
want a haste here. And then we don't want to use Berserk. Definitely don't want to use Berserk right now. Instead, we're going to wait on that.
I'm busy, okay?
We're
I'm
also going to
busy.
make you 2 invisible
What is
because
it now?
that's quite important.
Very good.
Destiny awaits.
We'll have you here,
Bark your eye.
here,
Be quick.
here,
Be well
here,
placed.
and
It will be
you
done.
here.
I am
You're going to
concerned.
float over to there. That's fine.
Have you nothing else? One.
I like
thing.
how Edwin is constantly remarking that he's invisible and being very sneaky. You're not being that sneaky, Edwin. We know you're there. Time to get Kangax out of that tomb and whole once more, and instantly regret doing so. At last, Terri, what have you found? I have found the pieces. At last it is complete. Place the pieces in my tomb. The fools could not kill me. That is the final of many warnings that you get during this quest that you may be doing something wrong. And I really want you two over here because we want you all now to use your various abilities. That is Greater Whirlwind Attack, and Critical Strike, and Critical Strike.
This place will be your tomb.
Fools you are! Death shall reign upon the plains, and Kangax will violate all! Surprise, surprise! Kangax the Lich is evil! Who'd have thunk it? But worry not, my saviour. You shall be well rewarded. You will have the privilege of a sweet, painful death at my hands. combat! Time to deal as much damage to Kangax as we can before Kangax's protective spells trigger. And that was so much that we were able to get through the first phase of the fight instantly, and that is brilliant. Still, you do not understand. Not only was I to languish in the tomb for all eternity, but also I must be destroyed by another to be free. You have truly freed me, and the world will be burned to ash for your sin. Right! Time to move you away. Time to move you away as quickly as we can. And have just Korgan and Korgan here to deal with what's to come. There we go. I am free. You shall be the first to feel my true power. Kangax is now a Demi-Lich, which is actually a major downgrade in power, because unlike the Demi-Lich we encountered in Watcher's Keep, this Demi-Lich will only target imprisonment at the closest foe, which in this instance is one of two Korgans. And all of the protective things that Kangax had are gone, which means that we can now just whittle away at Kangax's health, getting past the regenerative abilities of that ring, and defeat Kangax. Aha! 55,000 experience gained.
Yes.
But the true treasure is not the shocking grasp scroll, but this ring. The Ring of Gax. This ring is relatively unadorned, but the vile magic within radiates intense evil. Indeed, its creator, Kangax, was no less evil himself, even before millennia of undeath honed his power. It is said that a cadre of Netherese mages fought and imprisoned the Demi-Lich once, but being unable to truly destroy him, they became liches themselves to stand guard over his remains. The construction of the ring may have led to their enmity, as each of the gem's 9 facets was supposedly empowered by sacrifice and death. Equipped abilities: Armor class +2, Saving throws +2, Magic resistance +10%, Regenerate 1 hit point every 3 seconds, Immunity to disease and poison. But that's not all. Charge abilities: Invisibility once per day, duration 12 hours, Improved haste 3 times per day, duration 10 seconds. Area affect the wielder. This is a monstrously powerful ring, and a definite replacement for the Ring of Regeneration that Terri is using. Terri's armor class is now -8, and now having the Gauntlets of Extraordinary Specialization are justified, because we have a far more potent version of haste available. Also, we don't want the Ring of the Ram on you right now because we keep forgetting to use it. You can have the Ring of Regeneration, so now all of our frontline fighters regenerate.
Nothing else to do but bother me.
But the most important thing is that Kangax has been defeated, and with that, a massively difficult side quest has been taken care of. And that's awesome. We should also check out the
That's
remains.
what you want.
The sarcophagus is now empty. There is nothing more we can do here, except rest. And rest again,
Yes,
to get rid of the
master.
fatigue.
What should I fetch now?
I think we've done pretty well here.
Yes.
You have to be very lucky to either deal with Kangax extremely quickly or deal with the protective magic that he has, because Kangax is a more difficult lich than normal, and as a Demi-Lich should be really powerful, but the imprisonment and the death effect magic can easily be negated with Berserk. And my, what a reward we get. The Ring of Gax. Look at Terri's saves now. 0, 2, 1, 1, and 3. Those are absurdly impressive scores.
Yes.
And being able to regenerate a ridiculous amount of health, that is, I believe it is 1 hit point, as it says, yes, every 3 seconds.
Yes.
That is extremely powerful. And so, folks,
Very well.
when we come back, we have dealt with Kangax the Demi-Lich. And we may even give the Imprisoned One a go next time. I've still got to think about that though. The Imprisoned One is a completely different kettle of fish compared to Kangax. But the Ring of Gax will definitely help when it comes to taking out the Imprisoned One. If I decide to try. That is a big if. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. Don't think we did too bad there. I don't think we did too bad.